caffeinated Husker fans. Looking to boost your energy and focus? Caffeine alone won't do the trick. Enter Cranium Energy Drinks based out of Fremont, Nebraska, founded by lifelong Husker fans. Cranium is more than just caffeine. Every can has highly dosed nootropics that help boost mental clarity, paired with 150 milligrams of natural caffeine to provide smooth, long-lasting energy as well as enhanced focus. Find it at Hy-Vee Health Markets in Nebraska and Council Bluffs, as well as select gas stations and supplement stores. Or purchase online at drinkcranium.com, spelled with a Y after the I. Enter code EARLYBREAK for 10% off your order.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Blake Farm Outfitters. Now that we're into harvest, it's time to think about what's next on each of your fields. For some, that means cover crops. Whether it's to help with weed pressure or erosion control, boost soil health, or if you need something for cow chow, we can help. We're seeding everything from simple rye covers to more exotic mixes and even winter wheat. So if you're shorthanded and don't feel like you can get anything seeded, just give us a call and we can help. Find us at BoykeFarmOutfitters.com to get in touch. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through November 2nd, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce bacon wrapped sirloins for $5.99 each. And fresh cut chicken wings, $2.99 per pound. Plus, on Friday and Saturday, enjoy a 2-day sale of USDA Choice rump roast, $5.88 per pound. And Farmland bacon, $4.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all of your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. We live in the land of the free, thanks to the brave.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all of your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. We live in the land of the free, thanks to the brave.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert. Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Ostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Just another manic Monday. Oh, couldn't be Tuesday. Oh, just another swimming Monday. Swim one lane, the $1 billion man himself. How you doing, brother, man?
I'm doing well. Hello, AD.
Nick,
Happy Monday.
I'm proud of you. You had a busy weekend.
Yes.
You know, you had the show, the game, pre-game. Then yesterday, you went and did the Lincoln Youth football game.
That is right. It was a good time as always.
Talk to me.
Lincoln Youth football, another incredibly successful season. I mean,
the
it's just
All-Star
incredible.
game or playoff game?
So these were the championship games. So they had the championship games A, B, C. So 6th through 8th grade. And then an all-star game that features just 8th graders as well. So all 4 of those took place at Seacrest Field on Sunday. And made my way out there about 8:30. Games got started at 9:30, and I think we got out of there shortly after 6 p.m. or so, after about four games. So it was a good time.
At 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Nick, you had a weekend.
It was a weekend, but
Wow.
it was a really, really fun weekend.
Wow.
They dabbled in a little bit of a fall wedding as well.
Uh-huh.
So that was a whole thing.
Where was
But
that at?
Hillcrest. I
Nice.
texted Jack a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
And Jack ended up knowing the family that was getting married.
Oh, cool.
But Jack was not there. So I was a little disappointed not to see Jack. Jack was busy though.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it is understandable there. So no, it was a good time. It was a great weekend. A lot of fun. And ready. I mean, Nebraska gets the win. I mean, let's not bury the lead. It all can be centered around feeling good about a Nebraska victory too, AD.
Yeah, Nebraska, they hop up 21-6, I believe.
Yeah.
And in Nebraska
Didn't make it easy.
did not make it easy. And even when they got up 21-6, I knew that was not going to be the final. I was like, there's no way Northwestern is going out like this without a fight. You know what I was glad to see, though, Nick? I was glad to see Nebraska fight back and throw some punches, because we didn't see that was we could not find that. In fact, they didn't throw a punch last Friday night in Minneapolis. So it was good to see that. So we're definitely going to get into that. Nebraska football, break that down. 9:30 hour, man, the force has been shaken dramatically with LSU relieving the duties of Coach Brian Kelly. Me and Swim are going to get into that. Nick's got an interesting fact about a particular individual that basically set two families up generationally with wealth.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. So you want to stick around for that. Of course, we got the history. 10 o'clock, everything will be all Nebraska versus Northwestern, getting between the numbers and breaking that game down. Who were your MVPs? What did you like? What didn't you like with USC? The men of Troy coming into town on Saturday evening, 6:30.
Yes.
The men of Troy.
At first, I thought you were referring to like the Troy Trojans, but they are not the Troy Trojans.
The men of Troy.
A little bit more talented than the Troy Trojans.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, Nebraska, the last time they played the Troy Trojans, they lost.
Yeah. And
Andrew Bunch was the starting quarterback for Nebraska that game.
2 years ago, I was reminded of that when I was in Alabama speaking in Troy, Alabama. And I looked literally the school where I was speaking at. The university was right there. You could see him practicing, and they were flipping me a bunch of stuff.
I bet so.
A bunch of stuff. 10:30, folks. We'll talk, obviously, if that bleeds into 10:30 hour. We'll talk about that as well. Vandy, are they for real? Are they for real? We'll discuss that as well. Of course, Nebraska volleyball takes care of business. Nick, it's almost like it's like,
it's a routine day.
It's like tying your shoes for them to win.
Yeah.
They sweep Michigan State. We'll maybe dive into the men as well. They got an exhibition game tonight against Midland. So a lot going on. The World Series is tied up as well, 1-1 with Toronto and the Dodgers.
And I get annoyed with Dave Roberts of the Dodgers, the Los Angeles manager, because he was complaining about international customs and having to fly into the United States. First off, you got a private chartered plane.
What is he tripping?
And here's the thing, Dave, you're not sitting in economy. I mean,
what is he tripping about?
He's mad because the flight, he was like, oh, there was some delays. We were delayed. And I'm like, well, welcome to number one, airline travel. Number two is this is like just what you sign up for. Like, it's towards the end of the year. You can't act like you haven't traveled enough already this season.
You're playing in the World Series. You're going to really die on that hill?
Yeah, right. So
get dialed in.
I was a casualist observer of the two teams, and I didn't really care who win. But after I heard those comments, I am full on the Toronto Blue Jays side of things for the World Series this year. So series is tied 1-1. Go Blue Jays. I'm backing our good friend Rudy.
Yeah, Nick, I did not hear that about him. I just think it's really ridiculous to complain about something like that. Would you rather be not playing then?
Right?
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you want to be in 1, 2, 3 Cancun. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. No, I mean
that problem will be fixed real soon.
Yeah,
just get swept real quick.
Exactly.
We don't worry about it no more.
No, so I mean, I'm sure it's something that will be blown out of proportion and stuff like that. But no, in all seriousness, the World Series is great. I mean, you have a team in the Dodgers that is accustomed to being there, the big spenders, and Toronto is somebody that's got, I mean, they got a couple of notable pieces in their lineup, the George Springers, the Vladimir Guerrero Juniors, and stuff. They got Bo Bichette back, now in this stage of the postseason. But there's also a lot of guys that they'll be hitting 60, and you'll be like, Addison Barger, who is this guy? and so, there's part of it to where you sit there and go, okay, you know what? I kind of want to cheer for the quote unquote underdog of the two teams. And so I think the Blue Jays are maybe the fan favorites in terms of where just casual fans are cheering for and who they're cheering for. But the Dodgers, as they've proven this postseason, they're just always around, and they're just kind of always there to potentially win the whole thing.
A few on the text line here wanted to answer a few of these. Somebody asked, Unmasked Texter, what's up, brother? He goes, what time is the men's basketball game? That's a 6:30 tip-off, I believe, Nick. I'm looking at this right now. 6:30 tip-off. For that tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:31 to be exact. And it is going to be televised on Big Ten Plus. And looking at the site here, Unmasked Texter, there are tickets available at the Huskers ticket office. You can call in, pick those up. That starts at 5 p.m. You can start doing that. Probably do it early if you go online. But yes, there are tickets available. 6:31, their second exhibition game against Midland University there. Swim, this morning, bro, I'm a little pissed off.
Why? It's a Monday.
I know, and it's. I'm kind of acting. You know what? I'm kind of acting like the guy from the Yankees. I got to stop.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Yeah, Yankees are at home. They're in Cancun.
Do 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
1, 2, 3 Cancun. my workout app, man, did not register my full workout.
Okay.
You know, and this is important to me.
I understand it is. I understand it's important.
Because you know my goals. I know what my goal is. You know what my goal is.
Of course.
And it didn't register it registered my weightlifting, but it did not register my time at Farrell's. And so it shows 592 during my lift.
Yeah.
I know I burned at least 500 at Farrell's.
So it's time to go do another Farrell's class.
Absolutely not.
12-10.
That's not going to happen.
Okay.
That's not, there's nothing left in the tank.
Nothing left.
I knew, because my goal Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is to burn 1,000 calories.
Wow.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And so I was in the car. I was like, okay, maybe I kept refreshing. I'm eventually turn it off. But I know in my heart, Nick,
do you have to pay for that thing?
MyZone?
I don't know what it's called. Yeah,
it's called MyZone. No, you just pay for the original piece, the monitor itself.
Oh,
and then you're good to go.
Wow.
And you know what?
You wear the monitor.
Yeah, I put it around my chest. I don't like it on my wrist. That's just one more thing to have on.
I always wonder. So I wear my watch while I work out because I do a lot of intervals, right? Like where it's like, all right, lift and then take a 40-second break and then lift and then because that just keeps it. Number one, it keeps it moving and I'm out of there in a structured amount of time. But then you're also keeping your heart rate somewhat up. So
another thing I was thinking it's probably time for an upgrade. But they upgrade. I forgot to ask Jeff this morning. They changed the icon, the design of it.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a little glitch or something, but I've had that MyZone monitor.
That's how they get you to buy a new one.
Yeah.
The old one no longer is compatible with our apps.
It's kind of like your cell phones.
Yeah.
After a while, that battery starts dying quicker, but who knows?
AD, can we also get a welfare check on you from last night?
What happened last night?
So we can't get a welfare check?
What happened last night?
Packers and Steelers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your thoughts on the game?
You know what, Nick? All due seriousness, I don't want to sound like Debbie Downer, but I somewhat expected it.
Okay. Because
the Steelers' offense right now, Arthur Smith, they're just disjointed. You could hear it on TV when Aaron Rodgers called them, blank suckers. You could read his lips. I mean, it's just their offense is so disjointed. The defense is getting absolutely just hammered with injuries. Deshaun Elliott goes out. Singleton goes out last night with injury, the safety. We already got a number of guys that are hurt. But, Jordan Love and Kraft, I mean, they are the young Kelsey and Mahomes, in my opinion, because those two, Kraft killed us last night. But he's been killing everybody all season.
Yes.
And so we had no answers for Kraft whatsoever. Josh Jacobs, he got going. And Pittsburgh was up, by 9 going into halftime. I was like, nah, this is not going to be the final of the story. But the Steelers' offense is still too disjointed, man.
There were a couple of stories and instances this weekend where massive fourth quarters allowed comeback wins from visiting teams. The Steelers allowed 21 points in the fourth quarter to the Packers. The Bengals allowed 23 points in the fourth quarter to the winless before Jets.
I think, Zach, I love my boys DT, but I think his days may be numbered there in Cincy, man.
And it's so unfortunate because, I was actually hearing Alex Smith talk about this on one of the big network shows. The former, obviously, NFL quarterback. And he was talking about how the New York Jets have just recycled through coaches and quarterbacks. And he put it to instances of like, look at where obviously, Sam Darnold is doing just fine in Seattle. And Robert Saleh is now coaching well again in San Francisco. And he was basically talking about how the owner of the Jets and the GM there, like, you have to look in the mirror and be like, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the issue. And I think that there's a lot of organizations that could, actually potentially do that to where Miami is another one. I think potentially the Bengals too. And because I'm not trying to sit here and try to, persuade everybody that Zach Taylor is a Super Bowl, caliber type of coach.
They haven't equipped him with any offensive line in 5 years.
You have not equipped him with anything. There's been
facilities are terrible.
Like Joe Mixon was your best real stab at a running back, and Chase Brown's had a little bit of a down year, sure, but Samaje Perine, I believe, is one of the better running backs that they've had over the last couple of years. You've equipped him with skill position guys at the wide receiver room, but when you can't keep your franchise quarterback healthy, And you have so much turmoil in the offseason surrounding your star defensive player on that front line in the offseason.
Dude, he got dang near half a dozen sacks yesterday.
Like what more do you want?
You're
thinking about
Garrett Miles.
But my thing is, like, at the end of the day, you have to look in the mirror and be like, am I doing my job to the best of my abilities? And I think that there's a lot of organizations, Bengals, Jets, Dolphins included in those, that just don't equip their coaches. And that was where, like, Aaron Glenn, if Aaron Glenn gets fired after a 3-win season this year, there's no doubt in my mind he'll be able to go somewhere, be a defensive coordinator for another year, just like Robert Saleh is doing now with the 49ers, and not have success. Todd Bowles is another example.
Yeah. I think you bring up a good point, Nick. And like I said, I feel sorry for Zach because it's almost like they've asked him to go to a war with a water gun. With the lack of offensive line they got. And it's cost them, a couple years. It's caused, Burrow a few years, as far as health. You think even the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost against the Chiefs, the dude, one game was sacked 11 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I'm surprised he hasn't been hurt every year, not just every other year, every year.
I just, with the Bengals, it's so crazy. Just in the conversation of, you talk about his career longevity. Like, we don't know 5 years from now what Burrow is going to be able to do physically, right? Like,
Absolutely.
just after so many injuries, and just the inability to surround your franchise quarterback with number one, an offensive line, but then also somebody else in that backfield is really, really, mind-boggling in my opinion.
Eric, you're exactly right, brother. Steelers are staring down Indy. Indy is on fire right now. Nick, I'm not very optimistic about Pittsburgh, man. I'm just not. They're just disjointed.
One other thing that I will say about just franchise players and organizations, you brought him up a moment ago, and I know Tuesday is usually our NFL day.
Yeah, we'll dive a lot more into it tomorrow.
But is Myles Garrett? So the guy has 5 sacks yesterday, and he was, I can't remember the exact statistics, so don't quote me on it, but it was something along the lines of, like, he's the first player in NFL history to have be on the team that had 5 or 3 or more sacks in a single game and lose by more than 3 points. And the Browns ended up losing yesterday. But honestly, AD, like, there's a part of me that doesn't feel bad for him.
He got that generational contract.
Well, because he signed that 4-year, $160 million deal. We forget that he requested a trade before that. And so he could have gone and maybe potentially gotten, 120 to 150 million somewhere else, right? Just for being one of the best in the league. And everything would have been fine. Maybe he's competing for a playoff spot. Maybe he's competing for a Super Bowl appearance. Who knows? But he chose to stay. He chose to withdraw the trade request and stay in Cleveland with that, all-time contract of 4 years, $160 million. Those are guys in the league that have a lot of power over where they play, what team they're on, conversations in the front office. Those are guys that have a lot of weight in those rooms. There's very little parts of me that actually feel bad for him right now because he chose to stick around. He chose to stick around because initially he tried to force Cleveland's hand and trade him.
He tried to, and Nick, I was just looking up just now, what was his guarantee on that? I think, he's, dude,
123 and a half.
123 million is guaranteed. Almost 124 million is guaranteed in that contract. So, when you sign that much, it's kind of like, sucks to lose, but I got $100 million. Almost, it's a tough situation to be in. You can tell he's a competitor. You've seen him. I've seen a picture. He's at the end of the bench sitting by himself with his head down. But Nick, I do like to see that because I like to see that, to me, I got this money, but I'm here to win too.
What is it? So game checks are a thing, right? His game check, $3.33 million.
$3 million a week.
That's the 60 million divided by 18 games. My word.
Man, I am pissed off Monday morning. I'm all good. I'm okay. You see that money hit your account. I'm good.
I hate losing. Well, yeah, I bet you do. But anyway, so.
Folks, when we come back, man, the force of college football, the landscape was shaken dramatically yesterday when news came out of Baton Rouge. We're going to talk about it. Nick's got a fun fact. I don't know if it's fun for the AD. Oof. But I tell you what, the coaches he brought on, man.
And there's been more news in the last 10 minutes out of not Tuscaloosa, Baton Rouge as well. It's a really good time, AD. In all honesty, it's a really good time to be a hot commodity coach.
Yes,
right? Like there's the group of them. Obviously, Lane Kiffin's the headliner, but like guys like Kenny Dillingham and Will Stein, the offensive coordinator at Oregon, and potentially Colin Klein at the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. It is a really, really good time to be a hot commodity young coach, because this coaching carousel is going to be wilder than the carousel that was a few years ago, where we saw Brian Kelly 4 years ago go to LSU, Lincoln Riley go to USC. It is going to be crazier this season, and you include and take into account the potential player movement that's going to come with it. It is going to be bizarre. January is going to be, with it only having one transfer portal window nowadays, it is going to be an absolute cluster, you know what, in that month of January, for when there's so many people changing spots. However, you know it's not a cluster, and you know what you should do on Saturday? Nebraska plays USC. How about game day play dates at the Lincoln Children's Museum? They provide private access to the museum for the last 2 home games this month. You drop off your pre-registered child or children 90 minutes before the game, and then go enjoy the game while they enjoy the museum. USC, we all know it. Blackout at the stadium. Not don't black out alcohol-wise. Blackout with the close. But with USC as a night game, the museum is closed to the public unless you registered for a game day play date. They've also, here's the big kicker, AD, and we're going to have Ellie from the Lincoln Children's Museum stop in next weekend. But how about this? They've also added the Iowa game to their game day play dates list. With the museum being closed on Black Friday, the game day play dates also have private access. Plus, this is big for the parents. This is massive. Make sure you're listening. The first 12 registrations for the Iowa game can add on a parking spot for just $20 in front of the Children's Museum. It's walking distance from Memorial Stadium. Make sure you register not only for the USC game, but also for the Iowa game. It makes drop-off pickup even easier if you can add on that parking spot if you're one of the first 12 registrations for the Iowa game. Pre-registration for both game day playdates and the parking is required through the website. Make sure you check them out today, LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org.
Unknown texter 0532, blessings to you as well. Appreciate you. Dave Dipple, I'm with you, brother. I don't know if the Steelers even finish 9-8. It's going to be interesting to see what goes down. Folks, let us know on the Starter Haven phone line, Allo text line, 402-464-5685. Do you think Lane Kiffin goes to Florida? Nick, I want to get your opinion on that too as we talk about that when we come back, because like you mentioned, this is going to be, and me and Jeff Fasink were talking about the gym this morning, and Jeff mentioned it, he's spot on, and you just mentioned it too. It's going to be the most wild and crazy January ever, because you look at the number of schools that are available, obviously with LSU, Penn State, Arkansas, West Virginia, Okie State, Stanford, UCLA, UAB, I know that's a lot smaller one, Arkansas, Wisconsin could possibly be in there. Florida State could be in there. Florida's already in there. I mean, it's just going to be massive. And then the coaches that replace those coaches. It's going to be crazy. Folks, we'll be back in a little bit to discuss what's going on in Baton Rouge. Nick has some updated news on it as well. It's The Drive.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details, or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today. Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to The Drive, folks, on this marvelous Monday morning. This segment is brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a well-respected representative since 1999. Jack can help protect your home, your home. I said your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of Jack's 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you.
Hey, AD, I'm in on this caramel pecan coffee.
It's off the chains, ain't it?
Yeah. Get on down to the mill right now.
Nick, I'm proud of you,
This
man.
is really good.
It's wintertime for you right now.
It is. I broke out the coffee maker last week and had a cup of Joe every morning. And this is. I walked in. I was gonna get my little iced drink that I usually get. But then I said, you know, Luke, I said, what flavors do we have today? And he said, well, we have caramel pecan, and then we have our house one. And I said, you know what? Let's try out the caramel pecan today. And it is really good. Really
good
good
stuff, man.
It's also cold outside. So, well, not cold. Okay. If I say it's cold outside, I get yelled at on the text line. This isn't cold. So it's not cold. It's just a bit nippy.
A little chilly,
It's
but
hoodie
not
weather.
terrible. Yeah, it's definitely hoodie weather. Sweater weather.
Sweater
weather.
How do you spell it?
Sweater weather.
SWE
Sweater.
ATA
Sweater.
Sweater.
What a sweater. From the East Coast, you say it's sweater weather, man. You know, sweating lobster. That's what you get, Nick. Sweater weather.
Let's talk LSU.
Sweater
what
weather.
do they say in LSU? It's
LSU, right, buddy? I don't know.
We're on the brink of gumbo season, and it got spicy down there.
It's on the brink for gumbo. And one thing about gumbo, sometimes you got to get rid of some ingredients. And one ingredient they got rid of was called Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
They were tired of that guy that's from the East Coast that all of a sudden got a Southern accent, but did not deliver the goods.
My family and I are so happy to be here.
Nick, how cringy was that, man? And I'm going to just say this, Nick. Yeah. I'm just going to say this. I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly. And I'm going to tell you why. Has he had success? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The way that he left Notre Dame, and I know people that were there during that time, it was pretty bad.
Well, I would just say
it was pretty bad. And I'm not saying that there's a right way to do it, but there's definitely a wrong way to do it. There's never going to be, when you're leaving the school, when you're in just, kids' living rooms, dining rooms, but the way that he did it, I understand it's business, but the way that he treated, that happens in corporate America, Nick. You know what I'm saying? I'm out, here's my Labor Nation, I'm out of here, I'll box myself up later. But when you're dealing with young men, throw the pay, what they get out of it, not to have the decency to have a conversation. That meeting was less than 4 minutes from what I understand, Nick. Less than 4 minutes. And then he leaves there, gets on a jet, and all of a sudden he has a Southern
at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Leaves there, he has a Southern accent when he gets to Baton Rouge.
I think it's interesting, okay, just the far out perspective. I think it's fascinating when you look at Brian Kelly because winning games is something he did. I mean, you look at his career coaching record, AD, he's 276. That's it. He's won 200 games. He's lost 76 of them in his 22 seasons. He's 10-6 in bowl game opportunities. He's won his last 3 bowl games, all of those coming obviously at LSU. He's had double-digit wins seasons every year since 2017, except for last year when he had 9 wins at LSU. This is a guy that does win games on the field. And so it is this whole thing of like, everybody wants to talk about the fit at LSU and like, did it fit? And maybe from a feeling standpoint, it didn't. And maybe he didn't get along with people. Everything you needed to know, though, and this is where it's indicative of coaches. We talked about it with Matt Rule last week about coaches you are able to bring in, coaches you have the ability to hire and say, hey, come work for me, work under me. Brian Kelly, who had this very similar staff at Notre Dame throughout his entire tenure there, was not able to bring coaches with him from Notre Dame to LSU. Speaking of assistant coaches, offense coordinator Joe Sloan just got fired this morning and at LSU. And so that tells you everything. I obviously have never met Brian Kelly. We've never had to cover him intently. So I can sit here and say, yeah, you know what? From the 5,000-foot view, I don't like him. I don't like his approach. But everything you needed to know about Brian Kelly was his inability to bring anybody, low-level staffers, high-level assistant coaches, coordinators, the inability to bring them with him from Notre Dame to a high-level SEC job is everything you needed to know, I think, about Brian Kelly.
Nick, I think you're spot on. There was a vibe when I was there at Notre Dame when he was there. And it was different. Most times when I'm going to speak, oh man, I love our coach. I didn't hear that one time. And thanks for sending us in as well. I think that was Big Bird, because I'm going to read this. It's spot on. It's just thinking about how it was on Twitter, thinking about how Brian Kelly accepted the LSU job out of recruit's house. And this has been, I've seen this before. He came back in, sat down, and acted like nothing was like it was nothing. Mary said of a phone call. He was cool as a cucumber. About those burnt ends, though, Kelly had 3 servings. Merriweather said. That's why
Merriweather's the recruit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why Merriweather, the recruit, was shocked just minutes after Kelly and his assistant coaches left the house at 5 p.m. to see reports of Kelly heading to LSU. Screenshots from social media were immediately sent by Tobias Merriweather to Notre Dame assistant coaches for clarification. They had just left in a luxury SUV.
Yeah, I think, it's really interesting. This is where you mentioned before the break also athletic directors play a part in this. Scott Woodard, the athletic director for LSU, now has hired the 2 coaches that have had the 2 largest buyouts in college football history. He hired Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M, and he's hired Brian Kelly at LSU. I wonder, this is similar thought process across a lot of high level jobs. Who truly has the say in the hiring process? Everybody brings in the third party search committee and everything there. But in this day and age of college football, especially at a place like LSU where politics are so heavily intertwined with everything that goes on at LSU, I wonder how much Scott Woodard is making the decision. I highly recommend it, and we're not able to get through the entire article on the show. And I certainly don't want to read it, just read an article on the show.
Right.
But Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports wrote an article last night that I read, and it's headlined "Inside Brian Kelly's Messy Firing at LSU: How It All Unraveled So Quickly in Baton Rouge." The subheadline reads, "How did Kelly's firing extend to Louisiana's governor, who's footing the buyout bill, and LSU's chaotic situation is a product of several problems?" Throughout this entire article, it is absurd because they met all the meetings with the athletic directors, with the high-level boosters, and the governor. They met at the governor's mansion yesterday. That is where all these meetings took place. And then it goes on later in the article to talk about Brian Kelly, sure. Talks about Scott Woodard a little bit, or excuse me, Woodward, who's the athletic director at LSU. But then how about this part? This is a wild line to me. Let me see. As Kelly exited the field and into the tunnel on Saturday, insults rained down on him from a small group of remaining LSU fans, surely staying just to let him have it. Meanwhile, above the field in those suites in Baton Rouge, high-level political figures and executives, as well as the highest level of donors, were passing around the proverbial church basket and asking the much-wondered question, how much are you able to commit to the buyout? I mean, can you like that?
That's one heck of an offering.
Ooh. And he talks about how they still don't know how they're going to pay the bill. In the buyout, similar to a lot of coaches, talk about how it's going to go down dramatically if he gets another job in coaching. If he gets another job in media, that's a part of Brian Kelly's job or contract, is if he gets a job in the media world, his buyout goes down. But if he doesn't, $800,000 a month is what they will be paying Brian Kelly for the next several years.
31 cents a second, $18.46 a minute, $1,107 an hour, $26,582 a day, $186,076 a week, $808,333 a month.
Yeah. $800,000 a month to not coach.
What's that rap song by my man? I forget what his name. Life is good.
Yeah, Drake.
Life is good.
So I highly recommend this Yahoo Sports article is fascinating because, and then honestly, like this is where expectations come in, AD, because it's hard for us not to just naturally, as we are engulfed in the Nebraska bubble, AD. It's hard for us not to be like, okay, how would Nebraska act in this moment, right? And there's a lot of other issues in addition to just football games, but the 3 losses. This is what's wild. The 3 losses that Brian Kelly has this year are to the teams ranked number 3, number 7, and number 9. This isn't a Georgia Southern loss.
Mm-hmm.
Now Saturday against A&M was embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not Louisiana Monroe.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? And this is a guy that was 3-0 in bowl games at LSU. And I get it. You know, at the end of the day, your salary and you're being paid, and you were brought into Baton Rouge to win SEC championships and advance in the playoff and stuff. And he hadn't done that a whole lot. It is just, I'm not saying they shouldn't have fired him. I'm not saying they should have fired him, but it kind of gives you an insight into the play on the field. We have no idea what type of conversations are being had with some of the high level boosters up in suites.
You know, Nick, and Bone and Firth brings a good point. Obviously, we're not pinning this on Brian Kelly, but it just shows you the weird things that have happened around him under his watch. You know, Bone and Firth is a great point. It's a tragic point, is what more better said. The young man that passed away during practice, and just his response to it, you know, Kelly's response, it was just weird, you know, for someone to pass away during a practice, and then a response, and then it seemed like the family was out. It was the whole thing was tragic. That's the best word to say for it. It's just tragic. And by no means my hinging on Brian Kelly or anybody down there, just the responses regarding it. But Nick, it is interesting, man, to where you're seeing this coach literally walk off the field, and the brass up in the suites are saying, how are we going to take care of this? And it just shows you, Nick, to where this is a business. Like I said, it wasn't like he was losing in, to La Tech or something like that. He was losing to teams that were ranked. And I think, and Nick, I think it goes deeper to what you said earlier, the way that he treats people. And it was evident when the way he was just cussing everybody out on the sideline, from coordinators to players. And like I said, when I was at Notre Dame, it wasn't that feel. Even when I was at Penn State, the guys, man, we like Coach Kelly. When I was at USC, man, we like Coach Gilmore. We like Coach Kelly. I did not hear one example of that at Notre Dame when I was there. Not once.
It's interesting. So, I mean, going back to this article, it says earlier Sunday, as LSU officials and donors, as well as Louisiana political figures, met in the governor's mansion, a $25,000 structure, or excuse me, 25,000 square foot structure. They weighed the cost of keeping him versus cutting bait. The decision was clear. This wasn't salvageable. It was to the point where one leading LSU political figure asked Brian Kelly on Sunday morning why his players weren't playing harder. And he said, I don't have an answer for you. I'm not sure why we can't play as hard as we want them to.
Ooh.
He'd lost the locker room, says another person. We are soft, said a high-level donor within the LSU department. Either way, the Tigers will now be led by interim coach Frank Wilson. I mean, it is dicey. And so it's crazy when you bring in, I mean, this is where it's a new time that the politics are obviously heavily intertwined with the LSU football team. Maybe people get pissed off by that, but this is when I knew it was bad. When on Saturday, the Louisiana governor, and this just popped up on my For You page, because obviously I don't follow the Louisiana governor. I could care less about just politics in general. But the Louisiana governor tweeted out, maybe Louisiana State University needs to rethink upping those ticket prices next season. When you have the governor of your state tweeting that out publicly, number one, that means he does not care.
No.
And number two
zero.
is that tells me exactly how he feels about the state of the football program.
And Nick, when you respond to them, I don't know why.
Yeah.
And you're making that type of money. Yeah. Wrong answer.
And I was reading more, just learning more about how Louisiana State is put together. There's a board of trustees, obviously, with Louisiana State, and they don't even have a president right now. They don't have a full-time president.
Right, they're interim.
They just narrowed the list down to 5, and a decision is expected soon. But with LSU, they have a board of trustees. The governor, they have 14 board. The reason he has so much weight in this conversation, he appointed 6 of those members, and by the end of the calendar year, he's scheduled to appoint 4 more. So you're talking 10 of the 14 by the end of 2025 will be appointed by the governor of the state.
Got a similar
structure there as well. And so, you know, hey, he can walk into a room and ask this board of trustees that has the ultimate decision power.
Who are my golf buddies?
Yeah, exactly. Who are my friends? They have their jobs, they have their roles because I appointed them to it. And they have the ability to go, all right, you know what? Hey, Jim, What do you think about this? I think we should get rid of Brian Kelly. How about you? Yeah, Governor. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, it is crazy how intertwined it is right now. And I didn't know it until I started really doing some research on some things this morning.
It is going to be interesting. There is 65 days left in the year. It is going to be a very interesting 65 days across the college landscape.
Let me tell you this real quick, AD, in terms of how this affected everything else as well. These are two massive programs in Penn State and LSU that are on the hook for, $90-some million in buyout money. There's no excuse to not make a change. And these places that don't have the unlimited resources like Texas A&M, stuff like that, those types of schools, just because they don't have a plan for it doesn't mean they don't say, we'll figure something out. We just need to do this now. Wisconsin's on that clock. I have such a tough time thinking that Chris McIntosh is going to be able to salvage that whole thing. Florida State is another one, right?
Nick, here's another one to think about. There's been some smoke getting on it. Sarkisian leaving Texas
for an NFL job potentially. Yeah. So it's interesting. Here's one thing last thing I'll say, and we can dive into this when we come back. The team that this affected, the program that this affected the most, in my opinion, with LSU leaving, Florida. Florida's opening, because all the coaches that potentially were interested in Florida said, wait,
hey girl,
LSU is a hell of a better job. Let's go ahead, and Florida instantly became the second best job rather than the best job available. And it is so, like, everybody wants to talk about Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin gets offers to both spots. He's going to LSU. That's where he's going.
If I was Lane.
No, why would you?
I want to talk about it too.
This is where we can get into this.
Yes.
Why leave from a place and go somewhere where the expectation to win is higher, the bar is higher, and
you're still beating those guys.
You're still beating those guys, yes. But the expectation bar is much higher, and the leash is much shorter.
Yes, it is.
Why would you go?
We want to talk about when we come back. And folks, let us know. Text us in 402-464-5685. If you're Lane, would you change lanes, or would you stay right there at Ole Miss? Or do you hop to Florida LSU? We'll talk about when we come back, folks. It's a drive.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details, or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Koppel Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Koppel is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Koppel Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at koppelcars.com.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back on this marvelous Monday. One more segment of talking college football coaching carousel before we dive.
Carousel.
Yeah, carousel. Coaching carousel. I said carousel.
That's the one word, and I don't mean this in a mean way. That's the one word you're like sip, where sip will sound out words very differently because that's how they are spelled.
Yeah.
So he does like the whole like Graham thing instead of Graham.
Yeah.
That's the only word that I've ever noticed you do it on. I do it too on a lot of words.
I'll tell you a word that I love words, but one word I struggle. There's a lot of words I struggle to spell. Curriculum.
Oh, I couldn't spell that.
Curriculum
I
always
might
gives
be
me.
able to, I don't know.
It always gives me. Carousel. I'll say carousel instead of carousel.
Carousel. Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of other ones too.
That's but in 3 years of doing a show, that's the only one I've ever noticed consistently that you say carousel instead of carousel.
We got this carousel. What are you going, Golden Corral? I mean, you corral.
Exactly.
Carousel, AD.
100%.
Oh, Thomas and Lincoln. Yeah, we're going to have to do a segment on this one anytime. Worcestershire.
That is as June of sports radio as it can ever be.
Yeah, it is.
What words can you not spell?
Worcestershire.
Yeah. Worcestershire.
Well, Nick, if I'm Lane Kiffin, and we kind of, if you just joined us, we're coming back. We're talking about the dismissal of Brian Kelly at LSU that took place yesterday, and it's just set everything just in chaos that was already chaotic in the college coaching, hirings, firings. No hirings, actually, a lot of firings. What's been going on? The number of schools that are available. I kind of listed those off just top of the dome earlier. There's a lot of them, put it that way. With obviously right now, I think, Nick, would you say LSU, Florida, or Penn State? Which one is the creme de la creme?
I would say that LSU is creme de la creme. Top SEC job, probably can come in and win right away. I think that's a spot where a lot of people feel like they can have some instantaneous success.
Text line, let us know which school, if you were a high candidate, which school would you opt if you had an option to go to Penn State, Florida, or LSU? Nick, I'm going to ask you first. So I guess you were to answer that. Between those three, you would go to LSU.
I would.
And what are the reasons?
Well, SEC, number one. I still think SEC jobs are going to be a little more coveted in terms of that one.
Florida is as well.
Yes, but you're in LSU. I think that there is much more resources. Number one. Number two is similar to Florida, I suppose. Recruiting hotbed, right? You have Louisiana. You have the southeastern states very close by. You have Texas right next door. Your neighbors with them. I think that there's a lot more opportunities. I think they're also much more committed to winning. I think they're closer.
Would you change your accent?
No, I wouldn't. Actually, for the contract that I'd get, for the contract that I'd be getting, I will say anything you want me to say.
Do you want thug, West Coast style?
You know who I'd instantly become friends with them. They're friends of the station. The number one connection that I would make in that state, there's two.
Mm-hmm.
I'd fake it with the governor. Whether I like him or not, and personally, I don't know if I do. I don't know anything about it. I'd fake it with the governor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd get to be friends with Todd Graves, the founder of Raising Cane's. Those are the two. Those are the two people in that entire state that I would make sure. I would say then the athletic director's third.
Yeah.
You think I'm joking? No. I am smart. I am dead serious. There is two people in that state that I'm becoming friends with: the governor and Todd Graves.
I think what else you'd have to do there too, man, is if you were wise, you would contact all the famous alumni on from that football team and say, "I need your help. We got work to do. I need your help." I too would take LSU.
Yeah,
and to me, it's not even close. And for the simple fact, what you just mentioned, Nick, you got Texas as your neighbor.
Yeah,
you have your own hotbed in your own state.
My neighbor.
Yes, you can recruit out of your out of your office window. You got Florida just to the east of you. You got Bama. You got Tennessee. You got it's a recruiting hotbed.
Sure,
and you have a very distinguished alumni, and you have a history that is just insane.
Yeah,
just don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
It's not hard, man. Just be nice to people.
I know.
And to think about it, I think if Brian Kelly, like I told you, Nick, it was mind-blowing to me when I was at Notre Dame. Not one player said a single word about their coach. Not one.
It's wild.
And it's just interesting, man. It's not hard to be cool to people, man. It's not hard. And I think that's one thing. You look at, I'll say this, God rest his soul, not Joe Paterno, but Bobby Bowden at Florida State.
Sure.
There were a lot of years that they wanted him out of there, but he was so cool with everybody. It's like, how do we fire Bobby? I mean, he's got a natty for us, 2 natties, and just don't be a jerk to people, man.
Yeah.
They'll give you some leeway. It makes it a lot tougher to fire someone when they're just cool with
and it
you,
makes
man.
the potential exit a little bit better, too.
It makes
Look
it
at
a lot
Mike
better.
Riley.
I
mean, Mike Riley
absolutely.
Mike Riley was doing an exit press conference at Nebraska.
Buying ice cream with sprinkles on it.
Yeah, right? All right, send us away.
Folks, we'll be back to break down Nebraska's victory over Northwestern. It's The Drive, 93.7 Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe. If you are a business owner, I want you to think about the amount of time you've spent worrying about safety and security. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies design custom solutions for security, communication, and so much more. From automated security to secure video conferencing, their team sits down with you to get to know you and what your business needs. Manage your operations and get notified when there is suspicious activity. Save time and cut back on stress. Diode Tech always keeps you in the know. Contact them today at 402-793-5124.
You're invited to a Halloween karaoke party at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards on October 31st. Stop by Madsen's from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. for live music and a live podcast, costume contest, poker, and of course, karaoke. Admission is free, and there's still plenty of TVs to catch the Friday night college football games as well. That's 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday, October 31st for the Halloween karaoke party at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holder.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln.
Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about Certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Celebrate Halloween with the Lincoln Stars a day early on Thursday, October 30th, as the Stars host the Sioux City Musketeers. Wear your favorite costume to the game, as there's a contest for both adults and kids with prizes for both age levels. Also, it's a Chuck-a-Puck night, and PBR beers are 2 for $6. It's Halloween Eve at the Icebox on Thursday, October 30th versus the Sioux City Musketeers. Get your tickets today at LincolnStars.com.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert. Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Marfisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back on this Manic Monday, this moving day Monday for this crazy landscape of collegiate sports that we are in. I tell you what, Nick, read that one you just got right there, man.
Well, so I was telling AD during the break. Well, it was about an hour ago, probably right around we got on the air. That there was the Rivals 24/7, Rivals, I should say, put out a tweet that was like, join our YouTube in 5 minutes as a high-level recruit will be flipping his commitment. But they didn't say who the commitment was. Well, they did in just normal bait fashion, got me to click on it. And I looked at it, and it's a guy named by the name of Jashir Rogers, and he was a Penn State commit a few days ago. He ends up flipping to Oklahoma. But that was this morning. And Nebraska was in his final list of potential schools he could be flipping to. And the best part, and I don't know if, since I'm not a recruiting guy and I don't talk to these guys, I don't know if it's for sure, but according to his recruiting profile on 24/7 Sports, which is updated fairly often, he is now committed to Oklahoma, but he is visiting this Saturday for the Nebraska USC game. So a guy that just flipped his commitment from Penn State to Oklahoma just this morning is scheduled to visit Nebraska this weekend, Alabama next weekend. So there you go. It's funny, but I did see this text, and this is where we have to stay on the other side of the coin here. 6785 AD. Why do we complain about players jumping ship and not hold the same standard to coaches? Lena's Ole Miss working. Why leave other than more money, but then argue when kids do it? There's not a guarantee that he will get LSU winning, and that's the point, right? Like Lane Kiffin's obviously the big one that everybody's talking about. But ultimately, we cannot complain about players jumping ship. We just can't.
No. That argument,
it's the adults, man.
It's the adults. Old Dad 34, stay at Ole Miss if I'm Lane because it's less pressure and still have a chance to win. I totally agree with you. You can easily become the Steve Spurrier of Ole Miss. You stay there. You know, like I said, you'd have to have some horrible seasons to get fired from there, and you're beating those teams, competing with those teams anyway. As far as that goes, they'll put a statue up. If you in Oxford, you continue to take care of us the way that you are.
Mm-hmm. I will say on the recruiting conversation, a big notable recruit this weekend This is going to be probably Nebraska's biggest recruiting weekend of the year and of Matt Rule's time here at Nebraska so far. Obviously, we know that there's a lot of buzz around the 2027 class, which is still a long ways away. But one of the top players in that class is visiting this weekend, Ahmad Hudson, who's a 5-star tight end, the number 1 tight end in the league or in the class, but also is a 5-star basketball recruit. So you're talking about somebody that could potentially impact both athletic programs. He's going to be on campus this weekend.
You know, being a 6:30 game, you don't have the Friday night games of these recruits, making it tough for them to get to the game.
Absolutely.
There's ample time. 6:30.
That's why they wanted a night game.
Yeah,
that is a 100% why Nebraska wanted
Absolutely.
a night game for this. Is because when it's 11 a.m. you can't get guys to into the city quick enough.
Can't do it. This is the moment we're here for, Nick, is what Sierra Wright said to his guys. He goes, you come to a school like Nebraska to play in big-time games and be in big-time moments. Somebody's got to close it. Sierra Wright, Nebraska senior cornerback. Nick, that game had a lot of ups and downs in it, man.
It did.
A lot of ups and downs. Of course, Nebraska takes care of Northwestern 28-21. Nick, off the block, just off the top of the dome, what were your initial thoughts about the game, post-game? You had some time to think about it. It was here Monday. If there's your initial thoughts on the performance of Nebraska.
I mean, I'll say this: Nebraska for the second consecutive year bowl eligible, right? And we have to take it for what it's worth. Let's just talk about on the surface here. Nebraska's earned them a spot to practice. Everybody loves the practices. Nebraska's earned them the spot to get more reps for another almost full month in December, right? And then on top of that, they earned a chance to play some meaningful games. Now, there's still a lot ahead of them. November, which has not necessarily been kind to the Nebraska program the last multiple years, is still ahead of them. I'm working on compiling a record of Nebraska in November. And to start, I'll say this. I'll have all the details and the statistics by tomorrow's show, so tune into that. But as I start to sift through Nebraska in November, is what I'm kind of headlining it. It is not a good start. So this is a meaningful month of football coming up, and you have an opportunity to get a top 25 win this weekend. You have an opportunity to kind of continue to right the wrong after the Minnesota disgusting effort there. And when it's all said and done, Nebraska is going to be going to a bowl game at the end of the year, AD. And so there's a lot of excitement on tap for Nebraska. I will say this though, as somebody that has been, I will acknowledge this, highly critical at times of Nebraska's quarterback in Dylan Raiola, right? I've been very outspoken about it at times. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, he led Nebraska on a fourth quarter drive to win the game. And as Nebraska's quarterback in 2 seasons, they have reached 2 bowl games. That's something that in the last decade, not a lot of quarterbacks have been able to say. And has it been perfect by any means? No. But that's the same way that I criticize Dylan when I feel like it's necessary to. On that same note, on that same token, it's important to also be upfront and realistic in that, you know what? There has been some positives, big picture wise, because in 2 years of Dylan Raiola being quarterback at Nebraska, they have 2 bowl game appearances, or they will. And so that's something that we were just wanting them to have when he ended up recruiting and committing to Nebraska.
You know, my initial thoughts about the Nebraska game is it kind of echoes what Sierra Wright said. You know, this is why you came here. You know, the defense, you know, they were called out. You know, they were called out last week, and
Absolutely.
I think they responded with some stops. Now, people are there's been a number of my buddies that are Northwestern grads were like, so AD, you just going to act like that dude wasn't held on that last play? You know, and I said, well, you just going to act like
they didn't call it.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dog.
They didn't call it.
First of all, I'm not going to spend I'm just going to say this about the officiating. I thought it was trash both ways as far as that goes. Personally, there was a lot of things that they missed. So it is what it is, you know, as far as that goes. Would I be pissed off if I was other than the end? Of course I was, but I'm not. So I'm not even going to enter that, tread those waters. But Nick, I thought it was crucial that Nebraska responded in the clutch when they had to. And a guy like Williams in that punt return, that kickoff return. Nick, I'm just going to say this, dude. I'm not sure how Nebraska does if he does not take that one back to the house for 95 yards.
Oh, 100%.
Because the momentum that brought not only to the special teams, but the offense, the defense, a play like that just, that rising tide when he takes it to the house, that lifts all the boats, that lifts spirits, that lifts confidence, that lifts guys being dialed in. I think that kick, the return was huge for them from a psychological standpoint. So Mike Gameball, which we could talk about later on, but there was a number of guys I think that stepped up. But to your point with Raiola, man, he made some crucial throws. The one, and this has been something, Nick, I don't know what this is, but there's been a few interceptions he's thrown in the middle to where it was right to the defender.
And that's the thing. I'm not
sure what that is.
100%.
However, I was glad he bounced back, because one that bad can mess with you. If there's some, people could say what they want about Dylan as far as he had to get out of the pocket, he stays too long. The dude has a short freaking memory.
Well, I think you honestly have to. I think there's a lot.
But some guys don't, Nick. Some guys quarterbacks, even the pros, allow that to weigh them down, and they get beat twice by the same pick. Dylan's like, okay, it's done, it's over, let's go. And marching them down for that last drive, I thought was very impressive, man.
Well, and that's what I think it's insane. What I said once again is I've been extremely critical. I think at times there's a little bit of a casual approach or feel to Dylan's game at times. I feel like a lot of times he does bail himself out with his ability to throw from wild arm slots and the intuition to throw the ball left-handed and things like that. There were multiple times against Minnesota where it was just kind of even on the play that works, right? Where it's like head scratching, like that was not a smart play. And at some point, like, we need to see the continuation of the maturation of Dylan Raiola. Like, there needs to be some growth still in certain areas, but also just as much as I criticize him, I also have to, in a way, give him flowers for his ability to go out, execute a game-winning drive when that's been a thing of a rarity in the past decade for Nebraska consistently. To execute a winning drive. He did it against Maryland. He did it against Michigan State, was able to come from behind. Obviously now against Northwestern on Saturday. Now it's just try to string it together for a consistent, 8 games in a row.
Nick Butler, I'm going to come back on this defense again, because Rule and company, they called him out. The whole defense, not just him, in general. And they didn't play. They played with their hair on fire. So Saturday on 3rd and 6, they blitzed everybody. 4th and 6, sent them again. And I think that shows a lot of conviction on Butler. And also, I would say, a lot of confidence on that defense to sell out and to bring everybody on those plays, because that defense, they got ripped for one. The running back, Kamofi, I think he ended up with 100. Let me get his yardage here.
I have it pulled up right here.
125 yards
on 17 attempts.
As long as that 56-yard long run. But Nebraska, they bent, but they didn't break. But Nick, the biggest thing I was impressed about them offensively and defensively, they took some punches, but they threw more. They threw some punches. And we just didn't see that in Minnesota on Friday night. So I was glad to see that. Javen Wright, obviously, with the huge interception. A lot of tackles he had on there. It was good to see those guys put them in uncomfortable situations, because Stone was uncomfortable. And there were some times with some balls that, even threw dirt balls that were out there. So he's under some pressure. So I was glad to see them respond, because, Nick, like I said on Friday, I didn't know how this team was going to respond.
Well, I think, you mentioned the Javen Wright interception. There's a lot of plays that we can talk about in the Northwestern specific game to where it's like that turned the tide of the game. Nebraska's defense has been really, really poor at taking the ball away. If you look at the turnover margin, I can pull it up really quickly here in just a second. If you look at the turnover margin, Nebraska's kind of middle of the road in terms of turnover margin. Let me pull it. I already have it. Okay, Nebraska currently ranks 46th in the country in turnover margin. They're averaging a half of. They're basically, so they've. How do I say this? They have forced 11 turnovers this season. They have lost 8 possessions via turnover, so they are +3 on the season. Teams like Maryland is at the top at +11, UNLV +10, BYU +10, Notre Dame +8, Michigan +9, Indiana +8. So there's a lot of there's a lot of things to where Nebraska, they could be better at potentially taking the ball away. And Matt Rule and John Butler talked about that. When Nebraska needed a turnover most, Javen Wright, one of your most experienced guys who's had such an unbelievable year, he stepped up, and you need guys to just step up. That's what we were saying on Friday about Minnesota. You just need guys to just go make a play. And Javen Wright might have been a right place, right time type of thing, but he's been consistent, throughout the entire season. And so eventually good things will happen to those.
Nick, more on the defensive side before we switch to the offensive side, man. I was impressed even after those guys gave up some plays, because I forget the receiver's name. I think it was Hamlin, the young guy.
Hyman.
And that dude, I mean, he torched us on a few.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He torched us on a few. I was glad to see the secondary respond, because Stone did not care what Nebraska's secondary was ranked. They went after him. And I was glad to see them respond and to bounce back on a few of those. It's like, again, I can go to that last possession they had. I think it was, what was it? Number 10. Oh, goodness. Jones, the quarterback for us. My
Donovan Jones.
Donovan Jones.
No, so hold on.
Not Donovan.
Andrew Marshall is number 10. Donovan Jones had the other interception.
Jones is number 37. Marshall's 10. I couldn't think of Marshall's last name. I always want to say, when I think of his name, the movie We Are Marshall. So I kind of remember his name, but then I forgot the name of the movie, so neither one of them helped. But Marshall was the one. Look at Bach over there laughing. What's the name of that movie, Bach? We Are Penn State. No, We Are Marshall. I couldn't think of his name. But I was glad to see them bounce back, Nick, because they took some shots. They got beat on some plays, but they still held their water and shut them down when they needed to do it. So I was glad to see the defense step on that aspect of things.
I think you're right about that. There's a lot of little intricate details we can look at. I mean, Nebraska's defense wasn't great getting off the field on third downs. Northwestern was until the end of the game they were better, they were worse, but at one point, they were converting third downs at a pretty good clip. Northwestern had 18 first downs on the day. Nebraska as a team had 4 penalties for 39 yards. Northwestern had 3. Nebraska, once again, the rushing defense allows almost 180 yards on the ground on Saturday. There's a lot of areas for improvement. Especially when you're going to face a much more talented USC team with a much more mobile quarterback in Jordan Maeva. I'm really interested to see how Nebraska matches up this weekend with USC. You have a couple of really good skill position guys. Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane are 2 of the better wide receivers in the entire conference. It's high volume targets for those guys. Jordan Maeva, in I believe what was his second start last year, beat Nebraska at home when he took over for Miller Moss at one point. I mean, there's a lot there for Nebraska's defensive backs. Their USC is banged up at the running back position as well, and so it's going to be a fascinating kind of approach this weekend. And I think that there's something about like a Lincoln Riley team coming into Lincoln, not because of the name, that's stupid. Like the Lincoln Riley, the mantra, the aura that people think he has and that he exudes to just his team, and the USC name coming into Lincoln, there's no excuse not to get up. There's no excuse not to be ready.
Just the theme song, dum 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 dum.
Yeah,
that whole thing. And Nick, to your point, their third string running back against Michigan, he still busted Michigan for about $130 in that game. Yeah. So they are stacked at running back. The one thing that I look at the defense before we switch to the offense, that you notice we did not have a single TFL on Saturday.
Sure.
No sacks, no TFLs. But I tell you what, Rex Guthrie has come in and played well. He had 8 total tackles. He had 5 solo. Nick, that is one thing. And to your point on here, Big Ty, as well, I totally agree with you on that. But I'm glad they're at least there, because he's mentioned in Big Ty, good morning, he goes, can we please get a defender to turn around on the receiver instead of watching the ball, instead of just turning back to him the whole time. I get what you're saying, because many times if you just turn the head, that was one thing that Tyrell Williams was great at. They would always tell us when the receiver's eyes get big, that's when you really start. I mean, just looking at little nuances like that, because their eyes are getting bigger. And because as a receiver, that's something the late Vaughn Shepard told me, Nick, when you're playing receiver, he goes, when the ball's coming, do not change your expression. He goes, good DBs look at everything. Tyrone Williams, Baron Miles, Kenny Wilhite. They would look at your eyes. If you go back and look at old tapes of Kenny and K-Dub, Tyrone, you can see when those guys, when your eyes, their heads turn that fast because they know the ball's coming. However, I'm glad they're at least there.
Yeah, I think, and obviously to the texter's point, and to your point, AD, like it. A lot of times, officials, if you get your head turned around, aren't going to throw a flag. If you go and try to find the ball.
Yep.
I think we talked so much last week about there's always going to be things that Nebraska can get better at, right? but it's much more enjoyable to talk about them after a win.
You better believe it.
And it is much more enjoyable to sit here and say, okay, you know what? Nebraska needs present tense, future tense, needs to do this better. Nebraska should have done this better in past tense. But they also won, and they're 6-2 now. And it doesn't by any means negate or can you forget about what make Minnesota and that whole debacle less light, right? Like it's that is still a thing. But this is just another stepping stone, another chapter in the book, another opportunity to go out and show the country, in this case, on a primetime game, nationally televised. And think about this, like, forget the streaks. Like, at some point this week, it's going to be talked about how Nebraska hasn't beaten a ranked team since 2016, and they're 0 for their last 28. And Matt Rule is 2 for whatever his record is, 2-28 against ranked teams. I can't remember the specific. I know he only has 2 wins against ranked teams, and both of those wins came while he was at Temple. It's like there's a lot on the line this weekend. It's matched up to be really, really fascinating to watch. What is this? And text line can correct me if I'm wrong. The last time USC, I would imagine, was in town would be 2007, when they were ranked number 1 in the country and they came in and beat Nebraska at home. I think that's the last time that USC was in Lincoln. So, I mean, here you go.
You got an opportunity.
What more could you want? Like, this is where, once again, you can't. We say it each week, whether you're playing Northwestern or you're playing USC. You shouldn't need bulletin board material.
Right.
You shouldn't need a themed fans section of blackout. You shouldn't need war towels. You shouldn't need night game. You shouldn't need light show to get up for a game like this on Saturday.
Magnitude. Clay, Tony, and John, good morning. I agree with you. Goes Eckler deserves the bag. If it wasn't for special teams play at Nebraska, it's 3-5 instead of 6-2. And I tell you what, Clay, Tony, and John, the energy and the passion, and more importantly, the discipline that he's brought that to special teams is an absolute game changer. And those, there's been several times, you go to the Maryland game when Williams took that one back. The guys are playing discipline. You know what else is impressive, Clay, Tony, and John, and Nick, and the listeners? Nebraska special team is not getting penalties for holding, which kills returns like that. That's how you can tell a very disciplined return team. Because in the NFL, you see it, Nick, guys who get big returns, and the first thing you're looking at is, okay, that's cool, but when's the yellow flag coming out? Nebraska has done a great job, and I think that's you totally tip your hat to Eckler, are making sure those guys are getting their heads on the right side of the helmet, to where returns like that are not negated by penalties.
So I was correct on the 2007 statistic.
Oh, and USC beat the smoke out of Nebraska.
They beat them by 18, 49-31.
And the holes in that game, Nick, you could have drove a bus through them.
Yes, but John David, some of these names are fun. Just to go back and revisit as we get to break here. John David Booty was the quarterback for USC. John David Booty. Nebraska was obviously, that was the year where it was like Joe Gans / Sam Keller. Joe Gans later in the year. Sam Keller, 36 of 54 through the air. He threw 54 pass attempts, 36 of 54, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks for 389 yards. Marlon Lucky was the leading rusher, 17 carries for 33 yards. Maurice Purify, 7 catches, 80 yards to lead the Huskers in that department. But the big part in this game, I might, just for fun, just for grins and giggles, I might go back and watch this game. This was the first game that I remember as a consumer of Nebraska football.
The 07 one?
I've been asked on the air about
that was a horrible experience for you as a kid,
right? Like, what was your first memory of Nebraska football? I remember sitting here. I can tell you, I was at a friend's house watching number 1 USC versus Nebraska night game and everything, and Nebraska got the break speed off of them.
Nick, it was hyped up in the week coming up to it.
Game day was here, if I remember correctly. But Nebraska got outscored 21-0 in that third quarter.
It was
and they lost the game. But that was the old ABC score bug and everything at the top of the screen.
Absolutely.
That'd be so fun.
It's about that time for the Skurs, man. It's about that time. Folks, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit of offense as well. It's The Drive. 93.7 Ticket.
Soregis Place Convenience Store and Bichi's Best Restaurant in Lincoln salute our emergency first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and paramedics for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. These men and women put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. First responders deserve our admiration, so thank them for everything they do for us. This from Suraj's Place Convenience Store and Biji's Best Restaurant in Lincoln. Serving the best Indian soup and rice every day inside the convenience store.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back on this marvelous Monday. It is 10:32. It looks like it's about 5:32 outside. It looks like it's in the evening already. Waking up, it's dark. Going to sleep, it's dark early as well.
Where has the sun been this week?
Man, I don't know.
Well,
bro.
not this week. The last couple of days.
It's
Monday.
been MIA for sure. It has been MIA, Nick. Nick, you talked about what is Nick? What is Nick?
What is Nick?
What is Nick? Nick, what is Rayola's? What's his touchdown interception ratio right now?
Oh, hey, Aaron, you're putting me on the spot.
No, but I knew you were gonna look it up, and so I just want to let you know to see what that was going to be because I don't know what it is. I know it's better than
17 to 6.
17 to 6,
Yes.
which is a better ratio than he had going on
It
last
is.
year at
It
this
is.
time. So that is progress. That is improvement. And Ceresco Joe, what's up, brother? He goes, have you guys ever heard of abrupt movement? I'm not an expert, but I've never heard that call before in any game. I never had even prior to, I was that day old when I heard that call, Ceresco Joe, abrupt movement. I was like, what in the heck? It's like, really? That's what we're doing here? There was just, Nick,
That's your second word.
What's that, abrupt?
Abrupt.
Abrupt?
Yeah. How it's you say it how it's spelled.
Abrupt.
Abrupt.
It's Abby, abs,
It's
abrupt.
It's abrupt.
Abrupt. It's abrupt. He abruptly entered the meeting.
There it is. Wow. No.
See, I got a guy, a teammate, and a speech pathologist. I love it.
Certainly not.
Yes, you are. I love it.
Certainly not.
Swim, I was glad that, like I said, there's a lot of quarterbacks, and unfortunately, we've had them before. One of the textures, and forgive me for forgetting which one it was, we're pulling it up on here, mentioned without Dylan in the past, the quarterbacks we've had in the past, not knocking other ones, just the reality, we would have found a way to not rally back after a bad play like that. The ones across the middle, he rallied back. Nick, that last drive, they were 4-4 on third downs.
That is true.
I don't know the last time Nebraska has done that in a meaningful game.
Yes, I don't know either.
And I'm not going to ask you to look it up either.
Well, yeah, because I don't know. Like, how do you quantify a meaningful game?
Yeah, a game where we had to come back and win.
I can't remember when the last time when Nebraska had to do a meaningful game.
I'll say this.
I don't know either.
I'll say this. When they had to do
my
it.
meaningful game.
When they
your
had
meaningful,
to. I'll say last time they did when they absolutely had to. There's always been something we would shoot ourselves in the foot with. Why are you laughing at me, man?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
But it seems like we'd always shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Nick, I honestly was watching this and almost waiting. When are we going to mutilate ourselves? Because it's just been, and Husker fan, let me know. I just, AD, abruptly interrupted and corrected is verbiage.
Can you repeat that?
No, AD.
No.
AD is abruptly interrupted and corrected in his verbiage.
that was a shot at me. But you're always so quick to point out the texters that are coming after me.
No, there was, no. There are texts that applaud you because one of the texts earlier, I want to read this. Nick, you did a great job. You did a great job.
The ratio is 1-for-1.
You did a great job of announcing it. In fact, that was Barney. Barney, good morning, brother. He goes, Swim, you did a great job at Lincoln Youth Football Championship game. Love him calling my son's name out every play. Manzito be number 21, Liam Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah. He did have a lot of carries yesterday.
Got to show you the love, too.
Well,
man.
I appreciate it. The ratio is like
Show
1
me
to
the
1.
love. See, now, okay, I'm going to get over 2. Nick, I love you. See, now it's 2 to 1.
I love you.
Hey, well, going back to the offense, I love the way that EJ ran violently Saturday. Nick, would you agree?
I love the way that they got him the ball.
Yes.
I mean,
Feed that man.
because you saying that, Emmett Johnson running violent, that's what we've seen consistently.
Yes,
through,
when they give it to him.
Through the first, what was it before that? What was our records? 5-2, 7 games. Through the first 7 games when he was having opportunities, we've seen him do that pretty consistently. So yeah, I think it was really good to see Nebraska utilize Emmett in that role.
27 carries for 130 yards. His long was 15, 2 touchdowns, averaging almost 5 yards a tote. Nick, and I'm not going to get to USC yet. I'm just not going to talk about it yet. But I like the way that they learned the lesson from after the Minnesota game. And I almost said Florida. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I almost said Florida. I was thinking about Florida. I like the way they learned the game after the Minnesota game. It says, we got to feed this man. And I love the way they kept feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. Offensively, like I said, I was glad to see Rocco out there. I'm sure he was battling through some pain. There wasn't a ton. We had a few penalties, reared its head a few times, but nothing terrible. But the refs, I just thought, was just some of the calls I just could not understand whatsoever.
Yeah.
But they did enough things to open up some holes to let EJ at least get warmed up, and then he created his own space out there a lot of times too. I love a running back, Nick, that runs pissed off. And the DF mentioned that too. He's running pissed during our group thread, and I was like, yeah, man, he's running pissed. He's running violent. But like you said, Nick, he's been doing that every time they fed him the pill. And that's the part with me with a game. I am going to mention USC right now.
Yeah.
A game like this, you better not get away from a guy like EJ. You simply cannot.
No,
because like you
certainly
mentioned, Nick, there were a few times still though on Saturday where we got off schedule. You know, throwing a fade on first down. Give the guy the freaking ball. But at the same time, obviously you want to take what the defense gives you, but you can't let a stalwart like EJ go without being fed during the game, man.
But no, yeah, you can't. I think, you know, there was so much made from the coordinators' conversations last week about, you know, running Emmett Johnson and stuff. And there's been a lot of, at the end of the day, there's been a lot of accountability being thrown towards Dana Holgorsen and John Butler. And I think, you know, you kind of, if Nebraska forced their hand and you kind of, you know, if you're Matt Rule and you come out publicly and you talk about how you need to run the ball more, and then Dana Holgorsen admits it, I think, you know, and then you need to come out and give him the ball, right? So you can appear that you're a man of your word and stuff. I just think that there's an avenue here. I don't think Nebraska's offense, I have to be careful how I say this, because I don't know if it's dynamic enough in the passing game, in the vertical passing game yet to say, let's just fully make this an air raid. Let's go ahead and protect our quarterback long enough. And it's not because of what they have on the skill position. I think it's more so of the ability to pass block. That's what I think that's a piece. So that's why I said I had to be careful how I've worded this, because I think Nebraska has athletes to be dynamic in the vertical passing game, and there's flashes of it. But to be able to consistently do it for 4 quarters, game after game, I don't think you can trust your offensive line to hold up. So you have to figure out ways to get Emmett Johnson and the backfield guys involved.
Yeah, you're spot on with that. I mean, they haven't shown that consistent. There's hints of it, but a team like they're going to play this week, and it can't be hints. You got to be locked in and dialed in and protect them. Songbird, good morning. You mentioned, hey, yes, I have Husker trauma, and every time we do just make it happen, we trip over our own feet. I watch fourth with my hands over my eyes. I did as well. I was very concerned about it. And Mr. Cub, Nick, now you're 2 for 1. 2 and 1. Shout out for Nick calling the Lincoln Youth football games yesterday. Crushed it again this year.
Oh, geez.
And the boys enjoyed it. Nick, you got to take those and just simply say, thank you. I appreciate it. That's one thing my dad taught me. Goes, when someone compliments you, he goes, hey, appreciate it, because you work hard at doing it, Nick.
I do appreciate it.
Unknown texter 0156. AD, was that a Wu-Tang reference? Wu-Tang is for the kids. Yes, he's talking about my comment earlier. Nick, I look at even the backups. Mosey ran with some conviction as well on Saturday. 28 yards. That one, he flattened the guy on their sideline. That came up and hit him pretty good, lowered the shoulder, proved a point. Nick, to your point, I think it's going to be crucial that Nebraska does not get away from their identity. And I know it's been shaky, but I'm simply saying we know we have an identity if we feed the ball enough to EJ, because a team like USC, we think we've seen pressure. In my opinion, this will be similar pressure they've seen against Michigan as far as athleticism and speed, et cetera. And they're going to have to come dialed in. They will have to come dialed in this game, but keeping it on this game. Ja'Cory Barney, three targeted, 3 catches, 13 yards, as long with 7. Lyndon Meyer had 1 catch for 15. Dane Key was targeted 6 times, caught 3 for 22. Emmett Johnson out the backfield, of course, got his. Nick.
Yeah, so just on that number about pressure and sacks, Nebraska has 12 sacks as a defense. USC 21 this season, averaging a little over 3 sacks a game.
They get after
season.
you.
So
Nick, it's going to be crucial, and I think it goes back to your point about this offense. And you said it. I mean, you said it. I think the way you stated it was spot on. This is a team that has not shown the ability to consistently throw the ball deep. Just haven't shown it yet. Not that they can't, because they definitely have the skilled guys to do it, and they have the speed to do it. We just have not seen it consistently. And a majority of that, let's just keep it real, he's not had a protection and the guys to hold their water long enough for him to do that. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting on Saturday, but Nebraska takes care of a very pesky Northwestern team. 28-21 is the final. Nebraska takes care of biz and goes to 6-2. And the men of Troy will be on their way here for Saturday's 6:30 p.m. primetime game. Folks, when we come back, we got the AD attitude adjustment, few more, I would say, just odds and ends of sports. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to talk more NFL action, some more college scoreboard, because I'm sure we will hear more action going on the collegiate landscape of college sports, too, as far as coaching changes and hints of coaches leaving other places. It's The Drive, 937 A Ticket.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
Soregis Place Convenience Store and Bichi's Best Restaurant in Lincoln salute our emergency first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and paramedics for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. These men and women put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. First responders deserve our admiration, so thank them for everything they do for us. This from Soregis Place Convenience Store and Bichi's Best Restaurant in Lincoln, serving the best Indian soup and rice every day inside the convenience store.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting overcast skies, the light breeze, the afternoon high around 57. Tonight, showers likely with the low around 46. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers. The west spotty skies will be windy, the high near 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, folks, we are back. Man, thanks for riding with us this morning. It's been a great one. My neighbor, Eric Fuentes.
Resident Chiefs fan.
You see this right there?
Big game for you tonight, Eric.
He is already at the stadium.
Whoa!
Eric is already pulled in to Arrowhead Stadium, and there's already a line for, because Eric's retired. I mean, he's chilling. He's done his time.
Yeah.
So he will set up.
How about Eric?
Eric Fuentes, brother, man, to be you. He is, and he's
I
gonna
wish
have,
I was him.
He's gonna have some nice breakfast because I'm sure he's gonna cook. They'll cook something up. But he is already, and there's a line at Arrowhead to get in.
I'm trying to think.
Last
Chiefs game I had been to. It was your last Chiefs game. Was it with your dad, right?
Yeah, it
With
was,
the
man.
Steelers.
It was with my dad.
For Steelers Chiefs. My last would have been, gosh, probably close to 7 years ago. And it was when the Chargers came to town and played the Chiefs, because I have family out in San Diego. So when they were the San Diego Chargers, they would come for a game every single year. And it was like a late November game. The Chiefs ended up losing, and I was in like bib overalls. I was in my deer hunting gear, standing in the nosebleeds, and I kind of vowed to myself there, if the temperature is below 40 degrees, I'm not coming back out here.
What is your cutoff for going to a game, temperature wise? What's your cutoff, Swim?
50. I mean 45. Unless it's like a massive game. Like if somebody's like, "Hey Nick, outdoor Super Bowl," which they'll never have an outdoor Super Bowl, but like outdoor Super Bowl, you want to go? Sure, yeah. It could be 10 degrees, but like
I wouldn't go.
You could not have paid me enough, AD, to go to that Miami and Chiefs postseason game a couple years
ago.
ago.
Oh my god, that was dangerous.
It was blizzard conditions, and it was snowing, and it was freezing cold. You could not. No way. No way.
That was friend. Nick. I got to be honest with you, man. If the Steelers were in the Super Bowl, or let's say we're playing for a game to get the Super Bowl, and it was like 10 degrees or -5, I'm not sitting out there.
You know what I enjoy doing?
I could sit and watch it in the comfortable
bingo.
inside.
You know what I enjoy doing? I enjoy crock pot snacks, sitting on the couch, watching the game.
With nacho dip and cheese.
Yeah.
That's just not enjoyable to me.
With my belly as a napkin. Or my belly as a bib.
That's the bib. My belly's you can use your belly as a napkin.
I guess. I mean, incredible flexibility.
Yeah, I'm not watching the game. Not when I could watch it someplace comfortable, man.
No way. I like crock pot snacks.
Even USC game this Saturday, I was looking at the temperature by time kickoff.
Oh, is it going to be bad?
Nick, it's probably going to be in the 40s.
Okay, that's doable though.
Not for me, buddy. Nope.
I like the ability. 50. I like the ability to go into, like in our case, the press box.
See, exactly. So you're going to be inside.
Yeah. will be inside.
So even like,
it's not going to be bad this weekend. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you like? They blow off the roof or something? I don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be comfortable as hell.
I thought about going. I see the temperature. I'm like, I'm not going to stand on that sideline
Saturday
with 48
high
degrees.
Of 52.
That's the high.
Yeah.
So
this entire week, it's basically that.
Yeah, and I don't mind the temps.
Tuesday's 51, Wednesday 51, Thursday 56, Friday 55, Saturday 52.
Yeah, I'm not sitting out there, man.
I'm
not gonna do it.
Whoa, the sunset. Oh, how about this, Husker fans? You ready for this? Sunset on Saturday, 6:22 p.m.
Oh wow!
It is going to be the night of night games. I saw earlier people were mad about the whole blackout thing.
Why?
Because somebody, and I get this, like Sea of Red, like I understand.
See, I think for me, Nick,
don't be so.
As you know, I don't get caught up with the cosmetics. I don't care what uniform you wear.
I understand.
I don't care if you got a black, white, red. Just win.
Yeah,
just win. Real quick before we're out of here, Eric, I went to Indy versus KC game in late December, like 10 years ago. It was brutal. Eric, I'm just not with that, man. I just can't enjoy it when it's that cold. Folks, the 80 attitude adjustment for you today. I love there's a quote. It's attributed to Gandhi, but it wasn't. But every day you're surrounded by noise. We're surrounded by noise. Opinions, negativity, comparisons, chaos. It's not always external. Sometimes, folks, the loudest comes from within our own heads. But if you build and protect an attitude over everything mentality, you make a daily decisions to silence all the unnecessary noise. And I would suggest that to our football team as well. As Gandhi's attributed to saying, it goes, I will not let anyone walk through my mind with dirty feet. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with dirty feet. Nicholas One Lane Swim.
You got that,
But
Aaron?
sometimes, folks,
Aaron
the dirty
Davis.
feet are our very own with thoughts that are disparaging, negative, and down. So don't let anybody walk through your mind with their dirty feet because your attitude deserves a clean frequency.
15 seconds.
Folks, thanks for riding with us. Check out our new logo as well. Nick's going to post
Shout
it
out to
on
the
Twitter.
graphics.
Appreciate
Shout out to
Gracie for doing that for us. Folks, continue to stay on the ticket. Got Bach and some guys coming up next. Talking sports as well. We'll ride with you tomorrow. It's The Drive.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So